Hi, Sue here from Mystic Matters with your February tarot reading. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. All right, we're starting off with February, feeling very much as though you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's like whichever way you turn, somebody's going to get upset. And it's sometimes it's things that we've done that got us into this situation, and sometimes it's things that are around us where we feel trapped, we feel we can't move forward. So this is where we're starting off with in February. Now, the first 10 days of the month, it's going to feel a bit dull and boring. Just ordinary everyday life, nothing particularly exciting happening. It's all kind of the mundane things and stuff like that. No fireworks happening. However, what's also around here is fear and anxiety about the future, and it's tied up possibly with guilt about things that we have or haven't done in the past and all that sort of thing. So these three cards all kind of tie together quite a lot, because we feel as though we're stuck, and every whichever way we turn, somebody's going to get upset. And then we've got this kind of feeling of kind of a bit of boredom, not having any, all dressed up and nowhere to go kind of thing, but also this fear and anxiety. So my advice here is to take advantage of this, so say, boring phase, because nothing has to be boring if we keep ourselves occupied. So do all the tasks that you haven't managed to do in the past. Tie things up. If you've got something to finish it. Because the danger is if we fall into this kind of victim mode. Oh, I'm really bored. I can't, because again, a lot of us are back in lockdown again. And so, I can't go out, I can't do this, can't do that. There's quite a tendency here to feel a bit sorry for ourselves that, we're locked away and we've got all these restrictions. But then if we get into this victim and poor me mode, then our mind has got more time to think about things, mull things over, and especially the negative things. Oh, well, so-and-so did that to me, or I shouldn't have said that in a way. Are they still friends, or what have I done? And the more we have time to mull things over, the more we get into fear and anxiety about the future. So if you are feeling a bit stuck between a rock and a hard place, then, and you know that it's because of something that you've said and done, or you haven't been clear enough, then try and mend the fences if they can be mended. Sometimes it's too far gone or it's not possible, but then forgive yourself or the other person involved, whichever way it goes, whatever the issue is, and clear it, get it out of your energy field, work on it. Use this quiet time for self-reflection, clearing your energy, clearing your life, clearing your home, but keep occupied, because if you don't keep occupied, there is this tendency to fall into a bit of a depression and feeling a bit out of sorts. And when we focus on things of the past, we tend to cut off our future, because if we're looking over our shoulder, we can't move forward. We just keep reliving the same things over and over again. So take this quiet time as a time to progress, start something new, start a new hobby, or kind of complete things that need to be finished, things like that. That's the best way of spending the first 10 days of the month. Now, coming to the middle of the month, you have got very good reason to be very joyful and feeling of celebration. You've committed yourself to something, and this could be something preceding this month. It could be go back into last year, some project maybe you've started, but there's a feeling of joy and celebration, knowing that you gave 100% and now you're reaping the rewards and you're feeling really happy with yourself. But it could also be just dealing correctly with the first 10 days of the month and finishing things that have been on hold, and not falling into this poor me and victim mode, because that's, that tends to, well, it can go on forever, can't it, realistically. But this is feeling of joy and celebration. So how we handle ourselves at the beginning of this month, it's very important to how we feel from 11th February, the next 10 days, because there is still this tendency to be stubborn, digging our heels in, saying, if it was good enough for my father, it's good enough for me, that kind of attitude. But holding on to things that we really are. What we do is we block creativity, we block finance with this card as well. So it is a stubborn attitude, not listening to other people, saying, this is my way or the highway. The problem here is that eventually, if we keep on with this attitude and we aren't willing to change, we aren't willing to move forward, then people end up going around us rather than moving forward with us. So we get kind of sidelined in a way. So be aware that, be very joyful about things you've achieved, but don't close your ears to other people's opinions, other people's input, because they could have something valuable to offer. Things start to pick up towards the end of the month. So we're talking about the 21st onwards, roughly. This is a feeling of a lot of imagination. It's the beginning of an imaginative journey, feeling creative, having a lot more energy, feeling, I want to go out and conquer the world. I don't know where I'm going, but I've got the energy to do it. So there's a real pickup of energy here. It feels very kind of slumped the first 2/3 of the month, but here there's a real pickup of energy and ready, but you haven't got a clue where you're going. You just know you've got the energy to go. It's a time to look at goals. Where do you want to be in 3 months? Where do you want to be in 6 months? And it's perfectly okay to change your goals as you go along, because we get halfway through something and then realize that we prefer to do something else, so we can go off at a tangent. But that's perfectly fine. That's life. But it's important to have goals in the first place, because that's what kind of motivates us, keeps us moving forward. And it's this is very much on the intellectual level. So it's quite good being paired up here with the Ace of Wands, because you've got the creative energy, you've got the vision, I said, and then it's by getting that energy and making it into something solid with the goals. Say, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then we'll see where we go from here. But not to look so far ahead, but just next 3 months, 6 months, something like that, and just make some plans, because it's really important to harness that energy while it's there. So we're coming towards the end of the month. Again, it's about new ideas. And with this card, there's a slight, again, it's another ace, and it's the beginning of things, but this is more on the intellectual level. So we've got all these things really starting towards the end of the month, and you've got the vision, you set the goals, and now the new ideas are coming in. And with this card, it's important to be very determined, because there's a tendency for other people to kind of try to hold us back, and it might not be intentionally, and it might not be for kind of nefarious reasons, but they might just feel, oh, you know, that we're going to lose them if they go off and do this, that, and the other. So if you've got some good new ideas and you're living with people who are affected by those ideas, bring them in on it. Let them know that you still care about them. It's just that you've got things that you need to do, and try and get them on board, because there is a tendency here for people suddenly their needs are suddenly amplified, and your needs and your dreams can quite easily get kind of pushed to the back of the queue. But you've got some good ideas coming up, new ideas, and a new way forward. So it's looking a lot better. Said towards the end of the month. Your luck for the month is looking at things from a spiritual level. Take the high road rather than the low road, because there's a lot of it feels quite a lot of strife that's going on, kind of a lot of things that can be kind of quite downing. How do I put this? It can feel quite depressing, and the beginning of the month can feel quite depressing and can make us feel a bit suppressed, things like that. So if we can elevate ourselves above that kind of general energy and look at things from a higher perspective, a more spiritual perspective, and look at other people with compassion and understanding. So if somebody is angry, don't react to their anger, but rather understand where the anger is coming from, and realize that it's quite possible it's got nothing to do with you. It's something that's triggering them. So that is going to help you tremendously to keep on a level playing field throughout February. There's no major arcana in this month, so there's nothing kind of really kind of life-changing. It just feels very much like an internal process that we're going to have to go through. Things that we feel a bit oppressed, we can feel a bit, tied down. There's a tendency to get anxious and worry about things. We have some kind of celebration for something we've done, but then again, there's a tendency to shut ourselves down again and get rigid and not accept other people's input, other people's ideas. And then again, we shut ourselves down then. And this is it's a lot that we can do to ourselves. And it's nobody else really to blame. It's what we do to ourselves. Both these cards here, this one and this one, is all about what we do to ourselves and our own mindsets. So it's important to be kind to ourselves. So look at things from much more of a spiritual perspective. Understand this isn't going to go on forever. It's just a bit of heavy energy around at the beginning of the month. So it's not really party time, I'm afraid. But there will be a lot more energy, feeling ready to set goals and get new ideas going. And that's coming towards more the end of the month. So I hope that that's been of help, and let's look forward and hope March has got a bit more joy in it, eh? So I'm wishing you well. Have a good February, and I hope you get a few new things started. Okay, take care. See you in March. Bye.